Can you lose more than 200 pounds without even feeling hungry? Today I'm going to talk to a woman who did just that. I'm Andreas Enfeldt from dietdoctor.com, and I'm here with Lynne Ivey. Thank you for being here.
Oh, Andres, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate this opportunity to share my story with you and with the folks who will be watching the interview as well.
So we met several times before,
yes.
And I know you have a spectacular story to tell. And how did this start? I mean, you had some weight issues before.
Right.
What was it like?
I'll just kind of start with the beginning. I always struggled with weight. In my 20s, it was a lot easier. Into my 30s, it was a bit easier. I was, in younger years, I was a dancer, so very active. I had the hormones of youth on my side at that point in time. In the summertime college job, I was a dancer for the Walt Disney Company, so I was in live productions, moving all the time. But I will tell you that I did have an unhealthy, as many people in the entertainment business or in theater or dance might have, a love-hate relationship with food. And it was a exercise, if you will, in starvation and in trying to keep up with everything that was going on. So as the years went on, and as I got into my 30s and later into my 40s, hormones change, things change. I was eating a low-fat diet really my whole life. I think since I was 10 years old, I remember going on my first diet and just being hungry all the time. And so when I got into my 40s, the weight came on with a vengeance. And I was at 49 when I finally got to a point at my highest weight, which was 374 pounds. I was at my rope's end. I did not know what to do. I was doing everything that my physicians were telling me to do. They were doing the best they knew to tell me, and that was to eat an 800 to 1,200 calorie diet a day and exercise. But at 374 pounds, that is impossible. And we heard many lectures yesterday here on the cruise talking about that aspect of just feeling like something is wrong with us. It's my character. I'm not disciplined enough. I'm not. It's something wrong with me. I'm lazy. I must be stupid. Obviously, other people don't have problems that they can't handle with this. So it was a frightening place to be, to see my weight almost approaching 400 pounds. My mother at the time, she passed away 5 years ago, but she had type 2 diabetes and was experiencing the complications of that. So she passed away from that, and I was terrified.
You thought you would have the same sort of...
I knew I was going down that path too if something did not change. And I had tried everything at that point, from age 10 to my first diet to age 49. My experiences had been up and down. I had been as low as 124 pounds, but that was starvation. That was a dancer's weight and not a healthy way to get there. Up to 374 pounds, trying to eat a low-fat diet, and it was not working, and I was terrified. And my mom died from complications of type 2 diabetes, and at age 74, and I did not want that to be my story. So that's how I ended up.
What happened? Because something happened, obviously.
Yeah. I am fortunate to work at Duke University in Durham, North Carolina, which is the place where Dr. Eric Westman with the Duke Lifestyle Medicine Clinic is based there. And actually, colleagues of mine at work were already patients of his and were experiencing wonderful results. And so You know, I had done everything up to that point in terms of starvation and liquid protein diets, hospital-based liquid protein diets, 600 calories a day for 3 months at a time. Lost a ton of weight 3 times. Very expensive to do that. But the when you were brought back on to food, it was skim milk and wheat cereals and whole wheat toast and margarine and fruit. Nature's
Then the weight
candy.
started to come up.
Absolutely, the perfect business model,
Yeah.
because it
Oh,
kept
yeah.
me coming back as a woman who needed and wanted to lose the weight. But I was starved. I was hungry all the time. The other option for me, I guess, was going to be the bariatric surgery, and that's a very popular option at a lot of places around the country, and certainly at Duke. Duke is one of the primary medical centers in the U.S., and a lot of people go to that when they're at their wits' end without knowing about what you and Dr. Westman so beautifully teach us about, and that is real food. So I went to Eric, I went to Dr. Westman, and I was like, you are my last chance. I don't know what else to do. And that was November the 5th of 2009. And 2.5 years later, I went from 374 pounds to 139 pounds. No surgery.
That's incredible.
No surgery. It is. It's a miracle. No surgery, no pills, no shots. And
Were you
here
hungry?
I am today. I was never hungry.
Because then you said you were always hungry before, even when you were much heavier.
Yeah. For the first time in my life, since I started my first diet, if you will, at 10 years old, I have felt nourished from the inside out. I mean, that is such a gift. So thank you for what you are doing, because spreading that word and giving people that information, giving people the truth is the greatest gift.
What did Dr. Westman say when you met him that first time?
Oh, I love this. We laugh about it actually now. I remember when he walked in the door in my first appointment, of course he had on his white coat and he was just very calm and very relaxed. We say he's very zen about all of this, which is just great, because by the time, you know, a lot of people get there, we know that there's something wrong. There's something happening, and I now know it was metabolic syndrome. I was broken metabolically. I thought it was my fault. So he comes in, he goes, how may I help you today? Just very calm and lovely. And I just burst into tears. I think I cried through that whole first appointment. Just because I was expecting, here's another doctor, he's gonna tell me I need to eat 800 calories and exercise an hour a day, and my joints were killing me. I was in pain. I could hardly breathe. I could hardly move. And instead, I had this wonderful presence, this wonderful man come in and say, how can I help you? And when I told him, you know, I'm afraid, I just basically said, I am terrified, and told him that story with my mom. And he said, well, the first thing you need to know is this is not your fault. And I burst into tears again because I did not know that. He said, the weight is not your fault. And then he started to explain, it's more than calories in, calories out. It's the kind of food that you're eating. Low fat means high carbohydrate, high sugar, and high sugar, high starch, or high starch means high sugar. I had no idea that the very food that I was eating for 40-something years was the very thing that was setting me up for what happened with my mom. I had no clue. So I remember after that first appointment, I literally had to go home, lie down on my couch, and put a cold compress on my head, because it just blew my mind. I had never heard this before.
So it's quite different from anything you've been told before by doctors.
Yes, and so I thought, you know what, this man is either really on to something or he's totally crazy. but I'm willing to bank on the crazy right now. I'm going to try this because there's something that resonates with this that sounds right and true, and it speaks to the wisdom of the body and to the way we were made and to the fact that, you know, so much of what we've been sold and told over the years has been obviously not effective. And that spurred me on not only to clean up my diet or to get on the right path with it, nutrition. I don't think of it as a diet anymore. It's a lifestyle, and it's as we know, it's nutrition. It's feeding the body from the inside out, nourishing, and the hunger completely went away.